Hello. I was a federal worker who had 1 month left of her probationary period, and today I was told that I will be terminated at some point this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation was exceptional and I got upwards of $1,500 as a bonus because my performance was so good. And this was my dream job, and it's just being taken away by an administration who doesn't care about science. It doesn't care about people who might be homeless with their dog now. They don't care about our species that we're trying to conserve. That's exactly what my job was doing. It was just to assess habitat conservation for species for a 55-year habitat conservation plan. We should all be so mad right now. We should all be crying like this because I'm just devastated.
So today was my last day at work. Next week I'm leaving New York after 14 years of living here. And I just got so emotional because I really did love the company I was working at, and everyone was so nice. Gave me a hug at the end, and I just feel so overwhelmed. But if you know what moving is like, it's such a painful process that my emotional part was just stagnant for quite some time, and today I feel like everything came to such a high point that I just couldn't stop crying. But I need to hold myself together, and there's still a lot of things I need to take care of.
All right, it's official. I am being laid off. Just received my preliminary reduction in force notice that I am, what's the recommendation, not to reemploy for 2025-2026. You are receiving this notice either because you serve in a particular kind of service that is being reduced or eliminated. So, can someone please just explain to me how the teacher of the year gets laid off? And yes, I am upset. But I think I'm so angry right now that it's going to take me some time to sift through these emotions. I love my students. I always will.
My name is Ms. Torres, and I am one of the 387 educators at my school district who was laid off last Friday. Every day I walk into my classroom and I have this internal battle with myself over why I should keep going. I have considered leaving education altogether, not because I want to, but because of the lack of respect for educators in the United States. I am not just a number. I am a tenured teacher. I am the history department chair at my school, and my entire department was wiped out. Over the past 4 years, I've been working tirelessly to make our history courses more equitable for the students we serve. I currently teach AP US History and Government and Politics. Next year, I was set to introduce a new course for my department. When I was informing my students that I've been laid off, they shouted in frustration. Many who signed up for my course was only because I was going to be their teacher. I am not just a number. I am a first-generation Mexican-American who became a teacher to educate students like me. When I was in school, the representation was scarce. Just when we finally got it together, these massive layoffs are threatening to erase the progress we've made. I fear for the future of my school. We have worked so hard to create a strong and positive school culture, and losing more than half of our staff will destroy everything we've created.
I got fired today from a job that I didn't even like, and what's really is they let me work the entire day before letting me go.
The jobs report was released, and the results, they were bad.
Fortunately, today I am not bringing good news. If you are on this call, this will be your last day at Corporate Corp.
嗨，欢迎大家来到果果的新闻频道。本期重要看点：美国近期出现的失业潮正波及各行各业，从联邦科研人员到公立学校的教师，许多人突然陷入职业与生活的困境。一位环境科研领域的联邦雇员在通过试用期前突遭解雇，尽管绩效优异，却因政策调整失去工作。另一位荣获年度教师称号的历史系主任同样收到裁员通知，其带领的整个部门被撤裁，引发学生强烈不满。这些案例反映出美国就业市场的结构性脆弱和政策波动对普通劳动者的冲击。 许多被裁员工不仅面临经济压力，更感到价值被漠视。科学保护、教育公平等社会责任在预算削减中被轻易牺牲，尤其在教育领域，裁员潮正侵蚀多年积累的教学成果和师生信任。少数族裔教师代表的进步尤其面临倒退风险。尽管个体故事充满无奈和愤怒，但普遍也表现出坚韧与专业精神。这些劳动者在逆境中仍在思考如何维护服务价值，保护学生，以发展成果。其职业信念远超一份薪水。当前美国的失业问题不仅关乎经济周期，更暴露出系统层面对科研教育等关键领域投入的可持续性危机。接下来看一下美国失业网友的报道。
It's 2025 and everyone's poor. In America, everyone's poor. And it's normal now. And that was the point. The average person in America is simply getting left behind. The work culture is changing. It's been bad for a long time, but it's just getting worse. There's no real incentive anymore. There's just expectation. And the expectation is that you need to work between 60 and 80 hours a week. Essentially, it's normal now to work 2 full-time jobs. To work 80 hours a week 10, 20 years ago would have been lunacy. You'd be called a workaholic. It was a negative thing. Now it's normal, it's expected. In fact, if you work less than 80 hours a week, there's probably something wrong with you. You're just not being productive. At what point in the work culture has this become normal? This has become normal because being poor has become normal. There are more Americans now living in poverty. There's more child poverty now than there's probably been since the Great Depression. It's a normal thing in America now. America is falling behind and its people have been left behind. In the managerial class, the bureaucratic class, they're just completely out of touch with Americans. I recently read an article on USA Today, and they're saying it's starting to look bad for poor Americans. But the fact is, who are the poor Americans? Because it's a majority now. The middle class has been erased. All you have now is upper middle class, upper middle class, and upper class, and the poors, the thrifts, people like us. And though we can look at inflation rates, we can look at wages have gone up slightly, but we are still feeling the great impacts of what we've seen happen over the past 4 and 5 years. With the rapid, obscene printing of money, we've seen the devaluation of the US dollar to the point where America has essentially lost its position as global economic hegemon. The BRICS countries are coming up. They are the rising power. What's America going to do? Because with lack of policy, we'll see what the tariffs are going to do. In the long run, I hope the tariffs work. I hope they do something, because something is better than nothing. Because nothing means that they keep spending, they keep using, they keep abusing the population to get what they need to push their agenda, while at the same time burying us in a position where people need to take debt just to meet the cost of living. Because the average household income now, even in places like Kentucky, average household income doesn't meet the cost of living. So for all those people out there that say the solution is to move to the rural areas, that may be the case. You may be able to find a cheaper home, but the fact is there's not going to be any jobs there. I spent 8 or 9 years in West Virginia. I love West Virginia. It's a beautiful place. Reality is poverty there is crippling. Yes, you can buy a home for cheap, but guess what? Good luck finding a job where you can meet those mortgage payments on the wages that you'll be receiving, because not everybody wants to be a coal miner. And you're like, well, you just have to do what you have to do. You're lazy. If you think it's normal that you need to work in a coal mine to make ends meet, you have gone back 100, 200 years in thinking. We're supposed to be moving past that. Our society, our civilization with technology, we are supposed to be moving in a direction that makes life easier. When we talk about AI, when we talk about the automation of the service industry, the great fear is that people are going to be left out to the side. People are going to be left out on their own, unable to find jobs. The hope and dream of a universal basic income for many people in lieu of the positions that have been taken over by AI is just, it's a pipe dream. America's not going to give that kind of stuff out for free. And you may say, well, during 2019, 2020, we saw stimulus checks. Why not have something like that? Haven't we seen the consequence of the stimulus checks, the consequence of the government printing money to try to hold up the economy, to hold up people's lives? The sad reality is that the government will never be able to pay for everyone to live. And there doesn't seem to be a way out for most people.
证明美国失业者的自述。 深刻揭示了当前美国社会正在经历的深层危机。普通劳动者普遍面临贫困化，每周工作60至80小时成为新常态，中产阶级逐渐消失，生活成本持续攀升，而收入停滞，许多人甚至需兼职多份工作才能维持生计。在他看来，美国已变成一个由财富阶层和管理阶层主导，剥削普通劳动者的农场。社会契约已然破裂，社区意识瓦解，人与人之间充满了不信任与敌对。尽管政府曾尝试通过发放补贴和大量印钞缓解危机，却导致货币贬值，通胀高企，问题未能根本解决。面对未来，他感到悲观且无力，认为普通人对宏观局势毫无影响力，只能被动等待可能发生的经济崩溃、内部冲突或对外战争。最后他呼吁人们制定自救计划，守望相助，尽管承认在缺乏社区纽带的社会中极为困难。整个自述反映出美国梦的破灭和系统性社会困境的加剧。美国普通劳动者正在陷入工作却仍贫困的深渊，中产阶级消失，社会契约破裂，集体焦虑预示着一个系统性崩溃的未来。谢谢大家观看，喜欢请点赞、评论加订阅，你的支持是我最大的动力。比心，明天见，拜拜。